So for the last bit now of the Ethel bag, I've left the lining inside out and I've just got a bit of interfacing here. If you haven't already got it on the lining bit, you may well already have some on. So what you'll do is you'll find the center there of the back and the front piece. And if you just measure 3.5 centimeters down and put a dot, so that's where I'm going to put on my magnetic snap. So I'll place that there on top of the interfacing, center 3.5 centimeters down, and then I will just mark where these little side bits are on here, there. And now what I can do is just with a pair of scissors or an unpicker, just put through that little bit, these two little side bits there. So I just do them really small, cut those through, and then from the other side you can just push through one side of your magnetic snap. There. There's one there, and then the one here. And then what's really important is to put this back onto your snap, because that stops the fabric tearing, along with the interfacing as well, to stabilize it. So I push that through the back of the prongs there, and then I bend my magnetic snaps backwards. Some people fold to the middle. I find it sort of a little bit more stable folding those out to the side, and then I do the same on the other side. I find that central point 3.5 centimeters down, put my little disc on that dot there, and make that mark, and then just snip through, and again push the magnetic snap through from the other side. And then that's both sides of my magnetic snap done, and then we're just moving to putting the whole bag together now. That on the back, like that. So they're ready to use there. I just open those. What I'm now going to do is I've got my outer bag turned out the right way, and I'm going to drop that inside my lining. So the back pocket, if you have just got the one there, that slip pocket that's sewn into the seam, I'll put the back of the bag to that side. So I'll drop that inside there, drop my straps down so they're between the outer and the lining. So we've got here, we've got right sides together of our outer and our lining, and I'll pin or sort of clip in place all the top edge, and then we're going to sew round with you could do a centimetre or 1.5 centimetre seam allowance around the top. Either is fine. I tend to do 1.5 centimetres when I come to sew around the tops of bags, just to give that little bit more seam allowance, and then you'll have the gap here to turn it through. So I'll just get that pinned in place now, and then just show you sewing all the way around the top, and then you'll be nearly finished. So I've popped it under the machine here. So I've got the lining wrong side here facing up. I've lined it up on the 15 centimetre seam allowance. So I'll start on reverse, and I'm just going around all the way around the top of the bag. Oops. left that rolled in. Tricky to maneuver the oilcloth here. And all the way back to the beginning there. So I've sewn all the way around the top now, and that's all done. And I've got the opening in the bottom, so I'm just going to pull it all back through. So I've pulled it through there, through this gap in the bottom, and that's what will then get ironed as if it's sort of the seam is shut, and then you can just top stitch that closed. But you can just check everything's okay by just popping your lining inside the bag there. And that's the back there. So obviously you can close the gap in the bottom there, and if you want to, you can top stitch around the top. That's up to you, or you can just leave it as it is. If you want to top stitch around the top with where the magnetic snap is, and depending how close we've got to it from where we dropped it into the lining, you may want to use a zipper foot to go around the top there to stay nice and close to that top edge. But like I said, that is optional. And then that's the bag finished.